Hello everyone, I'm YGO Fun and I'm back at you guys with another deck profile today. And today this is a deck I took to locals quite recently. I believe YCS was going on, the YCS was going on, so there wasn't many people, but there was enough to have locals with 4 rounds, so that was great. I went 4-0, which was awesome. Gotta love them prize packs. And this is the deck I took with me. I took branded shaddolls. It's running a very small shaddol package. It's a 51 card deck in total. So let's get right into it. There we go. So first up, for the first card in the deck, obviously we run Luber. This card is amazing. Honestly, I found myself wanting it more often than not. I also found myself searching it more often than not. Its special summon effect is basically it can give you or add to your hand one branded spell or trap, and if it's normal special summon, it can do that, and it has a graveyard effect that allows it to special summon itself, which is great. So yeah, it's just great all around. 2 Despine Tragedy to 1 Search Out my Eluber, and 2 just to add 1 Branded Square Trap and set it on the field. Right, so basically, if this card's in graveyard, then you can target 1 Branded Square Trap. In your graveyard, set it to your field. You can only activate 1 Despine Tragedy once per turn. Right. So obviously great. You could either set branded fusion or branded in red. Honestly, the better option out of the two, if you ask me. Next up is 2 Albion the Shrouded. This card is amazing. It can it can give you a +1, so it can draw you 1 card. It can send Albaz to graveyard. It can special summon itself, so it's a 2500 beater. Right? Like, it's honestly great. It's amazing. And on field or in grave, it's considered Fallen of Albaz. So it basically acts like you're running 4. You may be wondering, well, why do you say that? Because we only run 2 Fallen of Albaz. And this card is great. It's basically a worse version of Super Poly, but it still keeps Super Poly's most important effect, which is to special summon a fusion monster by discarding a card and using material from either side of the field. So I could use my opponent's monsters, right? So this could be a board breaker. I could literally use their own fusions against them, which is great. It's an amazing card. We run 2 Tri-Brigade Mercarier. This is an Omni Negate. It's great all around. If it's banished, it can basically search out a Fallen of Albaz or a card that mentions Fallen of Albaz. So that's great. Yeah, you can send your opponent. Let's actually, and 1 Fallen of Albaz. Oh, yeah, I got it right. Also, like I said, it's an Omni Negate. Blazing Cartesia. This one's easy. It's a card you can use to play on your opponent's turn for simple terms. Like, I found myself using Blazing Cartesia a lot on my opponent's turn just to kind of lock them out of important stuff, right? Like, I found myself using it to make Secretarion Dragon and or Draco Sepelia and or Chaos Star Source Dragon. So yeah, it's really great. It's honestly really great. It can also make your other fusion monsters, but yeah, it's a really great card. It can special summon itself, by the way, if Fallen of Albaz is in the graveyard, which pretty much first turn it always will be in the graveyard. Guiding Quim the Virtuous. This card, basically, if it's normal or special summon, it can send 1 Fallen of Albaz to the graveyard, which is honestly, in my opinion, its most important effect. But yeah, this is just great setup. I know it has a second effect, but I couldn't understand how to use it, so I never really did. Like I said, I'm not the best pilot, or I should have said that. I'm not the best pilot with the deck. One, because I just made it, and two, most of these cards I just got, so I was just running with what I knew at the moment. Um, I run for my Shaddolls package 3 Reshaddolls Wendy. This card is amazing. It can special summon if it's a graveyard or if it's flipped. It's just amazing all around. It can set up your Shaddolls cards and or spare you extra turns. You know, there's a lot of things this card could do. One Shaddolls Falco. This card is amazing. It can recur itself from graveyard. It can recur a Shaddolls monster from graveyard if it's flipped, which includes your fusions. Most people don't get that very much, but yes, if you flip Shaddolls Falco during the battle phase, you can get out your Construct and or Windy. So yes, this card is quite powerful. I wouldn't recommend running more than one though, because you don't want to brick, and also you don't always want to see it in hand. It's just a card you send to graveyard off Shaddolls Fusion. One Dragon. Basically, it can return a card to the hand, and it can pop a spell trap. It's great all around, honestly. I was considering running more, but I wanted to keep the Shaddolls package pretty small. One Hedgehog. This card is great too. It can add one Shaddolls spell trap from deck to hand, so it's easy to get out your well, if it's flipped anyway. So it's an easy way to get into Shaddolls Fusion or any of your Shaddolls traps that you might run. I know I run 2, so I just don't remember the name yet. And if it's sent to graveyard, you can add a Shaddolls monster, right? So it's great. And for the last card, one Shaddolls Beast. This card is amazing. It's a +2 discard one, and or if it's sent to graveyard, it's a +1 only. So it's still great. And for our hand traps, we only run Ash Blossom. I don't run any more than one than this hand trap for the reason of I tried and it just was too bricky, and there were too many cards in the deck that I thought were necessary and more important than the other hand traps I thought of adding. There is hand traps in the side deck, but this is the only one I thought that was necessary in the main deck. It's super versatile. It stops a lot of stuff. Honestly, it's, in my opinion, still the best hand trap in the game. Next up, for our spells and traps, by the way, that's all for our monsters. But for our spells and traps, we run 3 Branded Opening. This card is absolutely goated. It's an easy special summon of a Luber, so it easily gets you Branded Fusion and or any of your other Despia monsters, so you can special summon Quem if you have Cartesia in hand to send Albaz to graveyard to special summon Cartesia, fusion that off into something, you know. So it's great all around. It's just an amazing card, honestly. And it's protection for your fusions. It's protection for fusion monsters, so it's great. Right? So it just has a lot of viability. Branded Opening, obviously it's back at 2, so you have to run 2. It's too good of a card not to run 2 of. Confusion Summon from deck, hand, or field. So that's great. 2 Branded in Red. This is great for getting back your Albaz and or your Shrouded Dragon. And then you can Fusion Summon 1 level 8 or higher fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing materials from your hand or field, which is great. I wish you could also do that in the graveyard, but it's neither here nor there. But yeah, great card. Amazing to set. Right? Sorry. And for our last branded spell, we run Branded Lost. Yeah. This one's self-explanatory. It protects you, so you can still fusion summon your opponent and your opponent can't negate the special summon of the fusion monster. So it's just a way to ensure you get your fusions out. I don't think you should run more than one, but yeah, it's great. Next up, for our spells and traps, we run our shaddolls spells and our only shaddolls spells. 3 shaddolls fusion. This card is awesome because you can either fusion summon from hand first turn, and or if you're going second, if your opponent has a board of any form of special summon monster, basically, you can fusion summon from deck. So it's amazing, right? And can definitely help set up a lot of plays. Next up, we run 3 super polys for our board breakers, right? 3 super polys. They're great. Your opponent can't really react to it at all. You can basically take their monsters and do as you will with them. So you can make a Starving Venom, Predaplant Dracosupelia. You get what I mean. Next up, 3 Dark Ruler No More. This card is great going second, and honestly, I found myself going second more often than not. So it was amazing regardless. Also, another funny thing my opponent didn't realize in my second game is that this card is not once per turn. He negated the activation of this card, right, with a spell. So I just used another one that was in my hand. And he couldn't do anything about it because it's not once per turn. And, it was funny. It was very funny, actually. We run 1 Foolish, 1 Called By. These are all self-explanatory. 1 Triple Attack X Talent. I do consider this a board breaker. It's either a +2, it can steal a monster, or look at the opponent's hand, right? Like, it's great, so you know what they have and what to do. Dark Hole, a board breaker, right? Like, it's great. Harpy's Feather Duster, remove spell and traps, because this deck doesn't have any real way of removing spell and traps, so this card is amazing. You could say you could argue that Dragon is a way, but it's only one. I'd rather get rid of a lot of them, right? Because like if they have imperms or whatever, I just don't want them using that, and it's better to get rid of them, For our last spell, we run Gold Sarcophagus and gold, obviously. This card is great. You can banish your Mercurier. You can banish your Tragedy. So it leads to a lot of plays, obviously. It's just great all around. This card is amazing. For our traps, we run Branded Retribution. This card is great. It can basically give you back your branded fusion, right? And it's a negate as well, right? If they're special summoning from hand using a spell, trap, or monster effect. So it's great. Basically, all you do is if you have fusions on your field, you can just send them back to the extra deck, and or if during your graveyard, you can recur 2 back to the extra deck. So 1, it recycles your fusion monsters, and 2, it's a negate, so it's great. And it can recycle your branded fusion, or your branded in red, which is great. And for our last trap, Reshaddoll Incarnation. I'm gonna be honest, I only used this once. It wasn't that great, honestly. I'm thinking about taking it out in the near future, but it was okay. Basically, you can target 1 Shadow monster in your graveyard, special summon, and face down defense position. It's decent. It's mostly for your flip monsters, but it's also a great way to get your Shaddol fusion monsters back out on the field. It has other effects too. But yeah, that's it for our traps. And yeah, that's it for the main deck. 51 cards. Now let's move on to the extra deck real quick. So first up, for our branded stuff, we run 1 Mirror Jade. This card is great. Obviously, it's great for removing stuff. It's great for a lot of stuff, honestly. But yeah, Mirror Jade is amazing. Uh, One, Albiolentness. Basically, this dragon is just an easy OTK, right? I also it can search out if it's sent to grave. It can search out polymerization or fusion spell. So normal spell, not quick play or anything. So it can basically only search out your shaddolls fusion, your polymerization, and or your branded fusion. Right, so it's still great. It searches out basically your main fusion spells. For our two ofs, to Lebellion, the Syrian Dragon, um, to Albion, the Branded Dragon, and for I do consider this kind of part of the Branded Albion card, Masquerade the Blazing Dragon. It can recur itself from graveyard. It punishes your opponent for activating effects, right, as costs. So that's great, and it's amazing. Yeah, yeah. Punishes them for doing anything really, so that's great. And it's basically it. I think it's great, decent amount for a shit-all package. The only two shit-alls I actually think matter, Construct and Windy. These two cards are amazing. Construct, if it's summoned, can send a shit-all from deck to grave. It can, during the battle phase, destroy a card that it attacks. So you could literally attack a monster that's stronger than it, and as long as it doesn't have the effect of it can't be destroyed by card effect. If it doesn't have that effect, Construct wins every single time. Unless your opponent has something. And if it sits a grave, you can target one shit all spell trap in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So it's great. Windy basically limits what they can do. She limits their special summons to one, so they get one normal and special. Most people can't do much with that. She also can't be destroyed by card effects, which is great. Of course, they can always return her back to hand, but that's neither here nor there. It's still great all around, I think. But that's it for our shell package. Now for our super poly targets. Starving Venom. I gotta stop moving the camera. Starving Venom. This one's really obvious. The card is amazing. I mostly use it just to get rid of my opponent's dark monsters. Also, it can't be destroyed if it's destroyed by battle, I think. Yeah. If this fusion monster is destroyed... if it's destroyed, it can destroy all special summon monsters. So I guess not destroyed by battle, but in general destroyed. So still pretty good. Hard to get around. Sanctify Secretarion Dragon. This one's pretty obvious. The reason it's in the main deck is because a lot of the people that go to my locals are Dracotail players. And, they more often than not are like Dracotail obviously is dragons, a lot of dragon attribute cards. Basically, if you're a dragon or spellcaster type card, you can't do anything. It basically doesn't allow you to use your effects while they're on field, which is great. So yeah, it's basically like a Windy, but kind of slightly better, but more situational. Also, you can target one dragon monster or one spellcaster monster in your graveyard special summon, and if you do, place the other on the bottom of the deck. So yeah, it can also special summon from grave. I didn't really use that effect, I'm gonna be honest, which I probably should have. I think I would have had an easier time, but we'll worry about that later. Predaplant Dracostapelia, obviously this card is really simple to understand. It's a negate. As long as a monster has a level, keep in mind nowadays a lot of people don't run Link decks and or Xyz decks very much, unless they're Ryziel Mitsurugi, but that deck is like, right, like, meh, it's not as great as it used to be, honestly. But most people are running Dracotail and or Yummy, so this card is really good against that. They can't do anything with this card. And it's a once per turn, but it's a quick effect, so that makes it great. Chaos Source Dragon is a pop, obviously. This card is amazing. Honestly, I found myself making it a lot to get rid of a lot of pesky situations. So yeah. Cross Sheep I found myself making as well, quite a bit. It's really fun. Basically, if you fusion summon a monster next to one of its link arrows, you can special summon a level 4 or lower monster from your graveyard back to field with 2, and it's also an extender. And one Super Poly targets. Man, I'm going a bit too quick here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Second video in, but I already told you what Cross Sheep does. This one's pretty self-explanatory, but this is Boral Sword. It's basically a game ender, in my opinion. It's a great card. I did not see myself making it. I only made it one round, and when I did, it was not that great, honestly. It was good, but it wasn't what I was hoping it would be. Does that make sense? I more often found myself siding it out for another card, and that's basically it for the extra deck. Let's move on to the side deck. Let's start off with our extra deck monsters for the side deck. One Shaddolls Apcalone, one El Shaddolls Shekinaga. Right, these two are amazing. Shekinaga's great. Right, they're both kind of negate. Well, this one's definitely negate, but yeah, I did not find myself citing these. I'm gonna be honest. I did not. There was not a single time I cited these in. My thinking process was, if Construct wasn't doing it, then I would cite out Construct and put Shekinaga in for another negate to get more like disruption on the board, and for Apcalone, right? And Shekinaga was more of a basically same kind of concept as this, just have another negate and some form of protection, right? Because she has 3k defense, so you could just summon her in defense, and it's pretty hard to beat over with 3k. So yeah, that was my thinking. Never really saw myself using them. More often than not, Windy and or Construct was more than enough. One Quintus, one Mud Dragon. This is a super poly target, and Quintus is pretty easy to make. I mostly sided him in if I saw my opponent just loved to special summon a lot. This basically reduces their attack to 0, which is great if they're during the main. What level do you have to be? Except level 8 fusion monsters. Basically, unless you're a level 8 fusion monster, your attack becomes 0. Right? Basic premise of it. It's great. I saw myself citing it in once, but not really. I cited this in quite a bit, and it was really good. It was like really, really good. It was great. For our last extra deck monsters, one IP Masquerena and one SP Little Knight. Basically, what I would do is make IP Masquerena my turn. Next turn on my opponent's turn, make SP Little Knight. Right, banish one of their cards. If they activate a card effect, I would use her quick effect. Banish, target her to banish and target one of their cards to banish. Right, 1, protecting her. Right, 2, getting rid of anything pesky I don't want on the board at the moment. So yeah, it was great. Yeah, and that's basically it for the extra deck monsters in the side deck. For the main side deck, we run 2 Twin Twisters, 1 branded in white. I only saw myself citing this in one round, and they were actually pretty good. Branded in white, not so much. two Lava Golem. This card I saw myself siding in quite a bit. Quite a bit. We have one player, Xyz player. I don't remember what his card is called, but I know that it can't be targeted by card effects or destroyed by card effects. So this was a great way to get around that. Obviously, I would just tribute two of his monsters, including the one I didn't want on board, especially someone in defense. It was great. Two Ghost Ogre. This card is great. This card is really good in the current meta, I think. Then again, you know, each player has their own interpretation of what's pretty good in the meta. And for me, at my locals, for what I see, Ghost Ogre is really good. Especially against Dracotail. Which is, like I said, the main thing people play on my locals. And for the next one, Retaliating Sea. Again, this is great for Yummy. This is great for Dracotail. This is great for Xyz. This is great for Lynx. This is great for a lot. Basically, instead of their cards going to the graveyard, their cards are banished. Now, this is really, really good against Dracotail, by the way. It was super funny because my opponent, so they were special summoning a monster, right, using a spell or trap, and I summoned this out to their field, and they had got their what's it called, Phimina? Yeah, Phimina to hand, and they used Phimina's effect, and I'm like, hey, they don't go to grave. And he's like, what? I'm like, read the card. He's like, oh, and he's like, damn it. And so he fusion summoned using Phimina, but instead of going to his graveyard so he could get their graveyard effects as well, they got banished instead, and it was super hilarious. Oh, this is great. This really cheats your opponent out of materials and or resources, right? So yeah, this is amazing. Honestly, I'm thinking about adding this to the main deck, but also I haven't tested it enough to know if it should be in the main deck. I know it's great for siding, but you get what I mean. And that's basically it for the deck profile, people. Yeah, 51 card deck profile. Tell me what you guys think. It's branded shaddolls. Really, really fun to play. I really enjoyed it this vocals. Or last vocals, I guess, because, you know. But it was really fun to play. There are cards I think I would side out. If you guys saw my earlier short, I have just gotten new cards, right? I have just gotten Lightning Storms, right? If you saw my earlier short, and I just got Albion the Sanctified, and I also have Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. So I do plan on taking some cards out. Like, one, I do plan on taking out Reshadol Incarnation for 2 Lightning Storms. Right, because I just think it's infinitely better to have it. Because like I said, or like I'm gonna say right now anyway. I don't think I said it in the video. For this deck, you don't really want to run hand traps very much. You want to run more often board breakers. Right, board breakers in this deck work really well, better than hand traps, honestly. Which is why I think owed a lot to this deck's success. Because I did get stopped a lot, but every time it would be my turn next turn, I would usually draw into a board breaker, and that was game for them, right? Because like from there I could combo off pretty nicely. And this deck can play through hand traps pretty well too. So that's nice. But yeah, man, I love this. Like, I should probably sleeve these up. I don't know why they're still out, but yeah. And obviously for the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare plays. But yeah, yeah, that's why I probably will side up 2 of these, right? And or not a Harpy's Feather Duster. I think it's too good to like side out. But I will probably side out maybe one branded in red and or maybe one Reshadol Windy, you know. shorten the shaddol package a little bit. But at the same time, I don't know. I will still have to deck test, but that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Decide to take those cards out. But yeah, tell me what you guys think of my deck profile so far. Do you guys like it? What do you guys think about it? Do you guys think you guys would add anything different to it? If so, tell me. I would love to hear it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, please click that like button and subscribe to the channel. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye.